Hey there everyone, so I'm finally deciding to pull the trigger on disassembling my Wacom MobileStudio Pro to show you guys how to actually do it. Today I'm going to be installing a 860 EVO SSD on my Wacom MobileStudio Pro. Just for fair warning, the slot for the M.2 is a B key, so you're going to need an M and B key SSD, so anything N key is not going to work. If you are going to go that route of actually opening up your Wacom, I'd say change the thermal paste whilst you're at it. Me personally, I use Thermal Grizzly Conductonaut liquid metal, so I noticed quite a good drop in temperatures from idle. But running liquid metal can be a little bit risky, especially if you're not used to changing thermal paste, because liquid metal is conductive, and get it on like a transistor capacitor or anything like that, it can cause a short and possibly like break your motherboard. Now that that's out of the way, let's get to actually disassembling this. So we're going to just start off with the easy one right here on the side. It's very simple. There's no clips or anything. It's just adhesive holding it down. So all you just gotta do is move your heat gun back and forth on it and just slide the card underneath and start prying away easily at the adhesive underneath. I do have to say you gotta be a little bit careful when pulling these apart because the rubber on it, or I guess rubber or plastic, tends to warp very easily. So just be a little bit careful when doing that. So all I'm going to do is going to turn on the heat gun and start moving it back and forth, heating up the adhesive. Now that that's heated up, I'll set that over there. Just basically you start pulling up on a corner and just start sliding the card underneath. For me, it's quite easy. Well, sorry, I just see my video just went on focus. So it's very simple. The factory adhesive is a bit stronger, but because I already took mine apart before and used like a non-factory adhesive, it's a bit weaker. So it might be a little bit tougher for you to remove yours. But just keep going at it with the heat gun, making sure the adhesive is hot, and just slowly pry the subway card. Well, not subway card, just whatever you're using to like saw at the adhesive slowly underneath. So basically, on each corner, you'll see you might have a film of tape, a black film over in the corners. Basically, there's a screw underneath each of them, and you're going to need to remove those because that's what's holding up the screen at the corner where your USB ports are. So just take a Phillips screwdriver and just remove them, and actually that'll be it for this side. There we go. And that's it. And I see my video went on focus again. Sorry, guys. Just black on like a black computer on a black surface. It just doesn't really do well for autofocus. So I do apologize if the video does keep going out of focus during this. So I'm going to flip it over now to the other side. Here, I'm going to switch it over to manual focus, actually, just to hopefully see if it will help. Yeah, alright, that should be a bit better, I think. So basically, the same principle applies. Now, there are actually a couple of clips holding this. So you're going to have one on each side in the middle, and then you're going to have two in the corner, and then you're going to have another two right here and one in the center. Mainly the ones to focus are the ones in the corners. Those are the ones that will tend to break a lot more easily. I know this from experience because I already broke two of them. But basically what you want to do is you want to go at it from the back. Well, you want to go at it, take like your plier or whatever you're using to ply apart the rubber. Get it underneath a corner. So you gotta pull up on it, or just try and shove the card in. And then move the card on its way to the back, and then go at it with the heat gun to start warming up the adhesive that's around here in the back. And then slowly move your way across the other side, and that'll make it a lot easier to remove this actual entire piece rather than just going up from the front and then trying to go at the adhesive in the back. You'll break less clips by doing that. There we go. And then just pop out. And pretty much like that. So basically this entire area right here will be all adhesive, which is the part where you got to be most careful of, because you can like warp the back here. So instead of it being flush, it'll start becoming bubbly, or it'll start bubbling up. But yeah, so all this would be adhesive, and this is the main part, which is the hardest, especially when you're first time doing this. Now there'll be some screws that you'll have to remove, of course, and this will be for the side where your quick keys are on. So I don't remember which screws exactly you have to take out, but I'm pretty the side where your SD card is, there's going to be one here down at the corner, not holding the SD card, but one a little bit off to the side. By the looks of it, there's going to be this one as well. So these two in the middle, here, let me see if I can move my hand. But yeah, these two in the middle will definitely have to come off. There's going to be one here in the corner as well by your speaker, but not on the speaker, but a little bit off to it. I know those will definitely have to come off in order to remove this. And I believe, if I am correct, there's going to be one underneath this like electric shield. It's going to be the one right here. There's one that's off right here, right next to it, but it's going to be the one over by the speaker. So I'm going to remove this one. Ooh. And then remove the one next to the speaker as well. Don't make this mistake again. There's a screw that I forgot to remove, and by the looks of it, that should be it now. Yes. So that was a screw that I forgot. So basically, here to actually recap, sorry. So there's going to be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that you're going to have to remove. So by the SD card, well, the two by the SD card, the two that are in the middle, not on the black aluminum pieces, and there's going to be two by the speakers that you're going to remove, not the ones on the speaker itself, but the two right next to them on either side. And that should actually be it. You won't have to remove anything. The rest is the other two that are on the silver pieces are for the actual screen assembly holding it up, which are not, you don't need to remove at all. So that'll be it. Then after that, as I was going on before, you want to heat up the screen. Now there is no adhesive over here, just so there is no adhesive right here on this corner where your quick keys are, but it is on the other four sides, other three sides where your camera is, and on the two other sides. So you want to heat up these corners. Just slowly go at it one side at a time. But I usually start at the SD card, the side of the SD card, heating it up. And then the best part about going at it at the SD card size, there's a little free space where you can just stick your finger in, and then slowly raise up the screen. Now for me it's a lot easier because of course it's not my first time doing it, and my adhesive is not as great again, so I can just start sliding the card across, this card across, and then slowly pry up the screen. So for me, it isn't that easier. And after that, your screen will detach, and then you can slowly flip it over. Now you will have to be careful because there's a lot of ribbon cables over on the other side holding it down or holding it. So your angle of tilt will be like very limited. So basically, the way how I counteracted that, just to show you guys. So the way how I counteracted that is slid the screen up and then started flipping it over. So that way it didn't cause any problems with the ribbon cables. And since I'm using a blanket as a soft surface to hold my tablet so it doesn't scratch or get damaged, I'm just going to flip the blanket over underneath it. That way there's something soft for the screen to lay on. After that, disconnect your battery, which is right here. That'll be very important. The last thing you want to do is cause a short circuit with your Wacom. Simple as just pulling on it, and simple as that, you're disconnected. Now there are going to be screws that you will have to unscrew in order to get underneath where your Wi-Fi card, SD card, your Wi-Fi card, SSD, and your heat sinks for the CPU and GPU are. There's going to be two right here in the corner. There's going to be two underneath these little like heat foam or electric shield foams. Just basically lift them up, and the screws will be right there. And there's going to be two more screws on the other side as well, which are opposite from that. After that, you will need to disconnect the fans and the speaker, and to help remove when you remove the motherboard. And then there's going to be like a tape that's onto some heat padding or like a shielding. Remove that from the fan, and this will help you be able to jimmy out your motherboard when you try to move it, as the fans are not attached to the heat sinks. They're just attached to the body, but the heat sinks are pretty well in there, so you have to lift up the motherboard. I'll show you guys. So alright, so now that that's done, there's going to be a couple of ribbon cables. There's going to be the ribbon cable you're going to remove is this little connector here on the side. Just want to lift up the black tab and then pull it out. Remove your speaker. Then remove the fans. Then what you want to do, if your first time doing this is glued onto the fan itself. So basically, just go at your heat with your heat gun to help loosen up the adhesive, and then start prying it off the fan. Then after that, you can start lifting up your motherboard. Oop, wait, sorry, I forgot one more. Got a little gun happy. There's gonna be one ribbon cable right here with a blue tab. Lift up on the black tab again, pry it, and the speaker right next to it actually. After that, you should be able to take it apart without having to take apart any more ribbon cables. So I'm going to start slowly lifting this up, and basically what you want to do is take your finger and then start putting pressure underneath the heat sinks on the back to start lifting them up. It can be a little bit difficult. I see some glue still attached to my fan actually. So let me just cut at it. After that, you should be able to just slide it out. Now, if we flip it over, there we go. So here is your SSD, which I'm going to change out because this one is very lacking in performance compared to a data SSD that I currently have in my desktop that I got like 4 years ago, and back then that was even a cheap drive, and this just was very underperforming compared to that. So just take out the screw, lift it out, and then slide it. And as you can see, there we go. Sorry, I'm not used to really making videos. As you can see, this is an M&B key SSD. Whilst this right here is a B key, this right here is a B key N.2 slot. Now, Wi-Fi card is going to be over here on the other side as well. Let me check if I can find the port. I can't really tell. So by the looks of it, this is an E and A slot. Just going off what the Wi-Fi card says. So I guess anything like that will be able to fit this. I do apologize. I really don't know much about Wi-Fi cards. I never really spent much time like worrying about them. Go Ethernet. So that's pretty much it for that. Your heat. So right here on your motherboard actually is going to be your GPU right here, and the big one, and your CPU right here. They both have their own dedicated heat spreaders. So if you are going to remove it, just pry out the 6 screws and be very careful. These are very easily to dent or bend, so you got to be very careful with the amount of pressure that you apply in removing it. But yeah, so like I said, if you're going to be taking this apart anyway, get a better TIM. Though I do notice that it does take a bit longer for the fans to kick up just because the cooling is a bit better. But definitely, if you are going to take this apart, change your TIM. So I'm going to actually install my SSD, and that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do in order to take this apart.